Well, good evening, everybody. John Robinson, aka the Hospice Guy. Tonight is my 5th video in a series of 30 for the month of November, which is designated as National Hospice and Palliative Care Month. Tonight we're going to speak about patients with dementia, patients with Alzheimer's, or an organic brain disorder or injury. You know, a lot of times people talk about their family members. That's not mom sitting in that bed. That's not my father. That person is not the person who it was years ago. Well, it is the person that was there years ago. The most important thing you have to remember is that even though the body has failed, the mind is failing, that person is still in there. I always say, hold their hand. Talk with them, reminisce. A lot of times people with an organic brain disorder will often remember things in the past, and it's baby steps, always baby steps. I know it can be very depressing to see and go in there and say, hey mom, hey dad, and they don't have a clue who you are. But if you take the time, make books of pictures when they were youth, or when they got married, or when you were kids. Bring those back, because odds are they're not going to remember who you are at this time. But mostly the long-term memory is one of the last things to go in a person's life. So, you know, you may get that one time where the person says, hi John, I love you. And you may never get that again. So cherish that moment. Work towards that moment. Tell mom who you are, when you were born, where you lived. Just reminisce. Keep reminiscing. And do the same thing day in and day out. Because familiarity is the best thing for people with dementia, Alzheimer's, or organic brain disorder. They need to have that continuity of care, continuity of conversation in order to bring them out of their shell. Sometimes that's possible. You know what? Sometimes it isn't. But I guarantee you, if you keep repeating yourself and saying the same things day in and day out, day in and day out, just take a listen to their words. You may not catch it right away, but they are probably going to remember you. Maybe once, maybe twice. You may get that, I love you, sweetheart. You may get that look in your eyes and say, John, how have you been? You know, that's to me and to my patients' families, that's all they want. That's all they require. You know, and sadly enough, when they do get to the end of their disease process, that's probably just not possible, because it just affects the body in so many different ways. But as you're traveling this journey with them, like I told you before, maybe give them a gentle hug, give them a kiss. Although when you do stuff like that, you have to ask permission, because if they don't recognize you or know who you are, some people can get offended by that. I know it's your mother, or I know it's your father, but that can happen. So if you just sit there and hold their hand, like I said prior, and reminisce, that is probably the best way to elicit a lucid response. You know, I see my patients at least twice a week, and the ones with dementia, you know, at least twice a week depending on what's going on. There's usually other physical ailments that accompany the dementia. And probably 95% of the time, I get a person who is confused, someone who can't talk, someone who doesn't know what's going on. But you know what? The other 5% of those visits that I do, I am able to get a person to talk to me. I am able to get a person to maybe share a little bit about their life. Now, is it right or is it incorrect? I don't know. But at least they open up and share something that they're drawing from upstairs. So that being said, you know what, folks? Baby steps, little steps. You're not going to get a full-size dinner when it comes to people with dementia. You're going to get a cracker, you're going to get a crumb. But that crumb may be all you need at certain times. Patience, patience, patience. Reminisce, reminisce, reminisce. Just keep doing what you do day in, day out, day in, day out. Remember, familiarity is what a person with an organic brain disorder needs. And continuity of care of where they are and who is around them. So with that being said, my name is John Robinson, aka the Hospice Guy, and may God bless you, and may you have a very good evening. Good day.